What is up? What is up, YouTube? 057, whatever that means, right? Check this out, man. Big Homie CeCe is in the house talking about Hollyweird, gangs, CTE, Diddy, and EOT, we. EOTOE. EOTOE. I don't know what that is. Is that initials or what? Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Apparently, my man, Big Homie CeCe has moved out the country and is in different countries and everything. I don't know where he's at on this video. But let's just check it out, man. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's check it out. How?
We met one of them, and he made me real uncomfortable, bro.
Was he in human form?
He was a white dude with blonde hair. He had a gray suit. He started working for dancers, escorts, and models. You start to see the sex trafficking world and how it works.
Talk about that specifically.
Like it's way more than just pimps and hoes. You see what I'm saying? When it's a party like at one of these condos, bathroom space is limited. I'm trying to find some place to use a washroom. So I'm opening up doors. I open up one door, and it's a goat head, like on a stake, with like candles around it. You can see the blood was dripping down, and I'm looking like, when we got there, they had. Okay, so all of the waitresses was topless, serving drinks.
This is not the Diddy party.
At the party, yes. Okay. They topless, serving drinks. You got dancers in cages.
Pretty normal.
He did stuff with computers, right? And
feel free every other time with Eric, man. Every other time.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. This is an exclusive right here. I never said this nowhere.
Big Homie CeCe putting it down all the way to the ground. So don't you try to clown.
Every other time with Eric. Man, today is an exciting day for me. My wife is even in the studio for this one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because this is legendary, man.
For sure, bro.
It's also proof that the world is actually a global stage. You've seen him on Piers Morgan.
For sure.
You've seen him on Cam Capone.
For sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Big Homie CeCe is in the building. Sir. How you doing, brother?
What's up, brother? How you feeling, man? You good? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for making time, man.
For sure. I watched your stuff. And I was like, I gotta hurry up and do it with him. Pause. I gotta get the episode with Eric because you're good at what you do.
Thank you, man.
And your wife was mentioning that you understand different politics, American politics, here, everything. You're good at what you do.
Thank you so much, and shout out my wife for putting it out there for me.
For sure.
How you been, man? How you doing? How you living? How is Kenya treating you so far, bro?
Man, I'm living marvelous, man. I can't stop smiling because I feel like I'm home. You know.
Yeah.
I've been to a lot of countries.
Yeah.
I've been in war zones. I've been in crazy places. And usually I got to carry salt and pepper and garlic powder with me.
Yeah.
Here, I don't got to do that.
So it's pretty safe.
When I go to restaurants, food is delicious. I haven't felt in danger not one time. The people have been welcoming me. Little ladies hugging me at the Two Rivers Mall, I'm having a good time, man. I'm loving it.
Well, despite the potential danger, you're a dangerous guy. You have a smile and everything, but if you're watching for the first time and you're seeing this face for the first time, the Big Homie CeCe was actually a bodyguard for
16 years. Diddy. 16 years.
16 years.
They call me Big Hatari out here.
Oh, Big Hatari, because dangerous, huh?
That's what they call me. I'm like, wow, okay. All right, I'll take it.
So off camera, you're telling me that you have some roots here. Like you actually have a relative who was, when you checked your DNA, you found out that you actually have some Kenyan.
Yeah.
Talk about that a bit.
For sure. So on my mom's side, my grandmother, her name was Mamie, she was a Maasai woman. So she always would tell us this, though. And like some of her cultural values and stuff she instilled in us. And then we went and got our DNA test. And when we got my mom's DNA test, so when they came back, we saw the numbers. I'm looking like, really? So I said, well, when my time is done in the States, I'm gonna go back where my bloodline is from.
So you're home, basically.
I'm home for sure. Definitely. And in the comments on my last interview, they said, "Oh, Maasai genes detected."
Yeah.
So you know, Kenyans are a tribal people.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how it is in America, bro. It's like black people in America are tribal people. You feel me? They just don't know their roots. So I made sure I took time to figure that out.
So in many cases as well, then welcome home as well.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that. Asante.
So I'm going to take it back a bit before we get in. Of course, everyone wants to know P. Diddy's bodyguard. What happened?
Right.
Let's talk about your origin, man. Where were you born?
I was born in Chicago, Illinois, South Side.
South Side.
South Sider, yes, sir.
That's a tough area?
For sure.
When we hear Chicago, all we think about is GD, BD, King Von.
Oh yeah. I'm an insane GD.
You're a GD?
Yep.
Talk about that, man. How does one end up a GD? I ain't the feds though.
No, it's all good. Yeah, so I was born in it, really, bro. You feel me? But the group I'm with, we insane. So we really make everybody our enemy because our rules is a lot more strict. Anybody just can't be one of us. Shout out to the Goulas. Shout out G Lemonade. Shout out Big Duga. Shout out my boy CEO Tay. Shout out Cowboy. Shout out to Turn Up God. Shout out to them members. So yeah, it was tumultuous at times.
This inner city?
Inner city, yeah. South Side, Inglewood, 79th Street. You Google these areas. So peep this. We used to have problems with the group that King Von, the guy King Von is affiliated with.
Yeah.
So them was our enemies. So, and we lived 3 blocks away from them. So we had altercations with them.
So Chicago Drill, for those who are watching, if you don't know about Chicago Drill put everything about gang affiliation in Chicago on the map.
For sure.
Drill music.
Yeah, before drill music, Chicago was cool.
Yeah.
That drill music changed the game.
Was that Chief Keef first? Who was the first?
Who was it first? It was a guy named, the first drill rappers. I'm gonna say this: what changed this climate of the city was a guy named Lil Jojo. He had a song called BDK.
I know Lil Jojo. There's a famous video of Lil Jojo.
Yeah.
Lil Reese telling, "I'm gonna kill you, Jojo."
Oh. Hey, boy, Reese, little bitch. Yeah. Fuck is wrong with you, boy? Hey, I am Brick Squad. Yeah, Brick Squad, boy. Fuck is you talking about, boy? Over your little bitch. We ain't for nothing. We ain't die heirs, man.
That's for sure. That's real. You really you on top of your game.
Of course. Thank you, man.
I salute you. Yeah. So Jojo is from where I'm from. We from the same side. As you can tell, a lot of people died doing this. So,
So talk about a bit from this side of the world, we see things about inner city, and sometimes we look at it just as something interesting to watch for entertainment. But now, when you growing up in that environment, man, what was that like literally? Because you grew up in it, you were there.
Right. I mean, from the outside looking in, at the time, I thought it was normal because we all going through it. This is all we knew. And, before the onset of the internet, people didn't really know how much violence was taking place. But for us, it was everyday occurrences. It was never nothing different. But because, when I was 10, 11 years old, there was no iPhone. There was no Snapchat. There was we had MySpace. If we could have had phones to document everything that was going on a daily basis, who knows what would have been shown or seen. I mean, it was crazy, but I guess it built character.
And this is in school or also outside school or all through, every day, everywhere?
Man, look. In Chicago, if you got this color skin, by the time you 12 or 13, you better know how to kill. Otherwise, I'm going to pray for you.
So you're food or
you food if you don't. Facts.
So... No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, because
cooking right now. You cooking.
Wow, sometimes we, like I said, it gets romanticized a bit because of hip hop and the love of music. And music travels across the world. By the time the likes of like Lil Jojo, Lil Reese came out, it was a movement, and that movement actually touched even how we behaved in our late teens because the music was powerful.
For sure. And another thing that helped romanticize it was the mafia movies and the movies that glorified like gang culture and activity, because oftentimes we would see people try to emulate the mafia, the Italian guys, the Sicilian guys. You ever seen the show Top Boy?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so you know, like all of those things, like, and I feel like that's what connected us all, because what was taking place in the States was still kind of taking place in the UK, here on the continent, just in different ways, but it was very similar. Because, you know, I'll meet people and they'll know some of the same song stuff that I know. But where we come from, you know, it's way easier to get a gun than to get a job. So, you know.
So there's no chance of growing up a square. Let's say if I just wanted to be a square, I want to go to school, I want to just be like a straight and narrow guy.
I went to school. I took my education seriously. I graduated, you know. I went to college, you know. I went to the university. I got my degrees. You see, I did that too. But if you want us, it's hard not to become a victim, bro. If you just try to take that straightened path, you need to leave the area.
And time has shown, even with money, because I'll talk about some of the rappers who've made it out of that system. They still end up getting caught up as we speak. You know, like Lil Durk is in jail fighting a case. So even once you leave that environment, the roots still call you back.
Yeah, bro. In Chicago, you know, trouble will come knock on your door, and while you checking the door, it'll sneak in through the back. That's just how it is. Like,
what about the suburbs? Because I think Obama is from Chicago.
Obama from Chicago.
Different side, or what's the deal there?
He from I think he like in the Hyde Park area. That's still south side. The suburbs is really no different, because due to gentrification, certain areas where a lot of project buildings were impoverished, they just tore those down, built condos, and moved those people to the suburbs. So my mom tried that. She moved us to the suburbs thinking we was getting away from it. No, it's the same people there now. So we ended up, yeah, bro, and I was getting into a lot of stuff. I was getting into it like, this right here is fake.
Oh, those are fake teeth.
This is fake.
Oh, that's from fighting?
Shootout.
Oh, man.
I got the footage of you. I sent it to you.
You sent it to me for sure.
I got you.
So what was your first, and I'm not trying to make light or make this sound like it's cool or anything, but like, what's the first time you got into some gunplay, some gun action, some shootout?
First time?
How old were you?
Well, the very first time I experienced like gunplay, I was probably like 8. And they were shooting up the block. Me and my brother was outside playing. They shooting up the block, and one of the older guys said, "Hey, y'all need to go hide behind that car. They finna start shooting." Sure enough, we go hide behind the car. Probably over 100 shots rang out, and car got shot up, windows shot up, people getting shot and screaming. That was my first time seeing it. So I remember seeing the look on people's faces that was there, and I said, I probably need to get my hands on a gun. Just because it's like, okay, you know, you want to try to return fire.
You don't want to feel vulnerable.
You don't want to feel vulnerable, because that's a bad feeling. Because, you know, guns only do one thing, and that's kill.
But you said you took your school seriously, man. You had the wherewithal. Was that because of like your mom? Or
because my mom's a school teacher. My mom's a school teacher. Like my grandma, my aunts, like they didn't play. So, you know, if I wanted to go outside and enjoy myself, I had to have my grades and stuff right. And I realized as a kid, I said, wait a second. So all I got to do is make sure my grades is good and nobody bothered me. I had so much freedom because my grades was always so good. So, you know, I had the highest test scores in Chicago public school history. So that helped a lot. I had so much freedom to live my life. So I kept my grades well. But my mom would hear stuff, hey, son, They talking about you was in the shootout. I say, no, mama, not me.
I'm a straight A student, can't be me.
Exactly. So she was like, my son's a straight A student. He would never do this. But the police would be looking like, you, mother. We know you was doing something. But
wow.
So how are you able to balance that duality? Because on the one hand, you're an A student.
Right.
And then on the other hand, you're probably fighting for your life.
Okay. That's a great question. So look, we got something called in-school suspension. I used to always be in school suspension for fighting.
What does that mean? What does in-school suspension mean?
Okay, so instead of getting suspended and sent home for 10 days, you got to come to the school. You got to be in a room like this with the disciplinarian all day doing all your schoolwork.
So it's like detention?
Yeah, basically. So I would be spending weeks at a time in detention. So all I had to do was do my work in there. But see, when you got done with doing all your work, you could leave and go home. So yeah, I would get to school, finish all of my work. By recess time, we go outside to play. We play football, and after that, I'm going home. And my mom didn't get off until probably like 4 or 5 hours later. So for that 5 or 6 hours, I'm free. I could do whatever I want to do. So me and my brother and my homies, we took advantage of that for sure.
And is there not, and I'm sorry I keep harping on about the gang thing, but is there not another way to have like, to express your free time apart from like joining a gang, or everybody's joining, so we gotta join?
So check this out, right? Imagine you show up to a park. You're the guy who has no gang affiliation. You don't know anybody over here. You just want to play basketball. No one's going to give you the ball. They're going to tell you, they're going to take your ball and tell you to leave the park. Or somebody might want to rob you. So if they know if they come to rob you and all your homies right here, they're not going to do it. Here's the thing. You can be in a gang and not be out there risking your life. They don't force you to go on missions, man. They don't force you to do anything.
That's a common misconception that if you have to serve your time, even to rise the ranks from like when you join. Were you jumped in?
Hell no.
For the guys watching, in case you're wondering what jumping in is, usually there's this narrative that for you to join a gang, you get jumped in. Jumped in is literally your homies. The homies surround you and actually you got to squabble.
Now let me ask you this. Does that make sense to you?
It doesn't, man.
Why would you want to injure the person you're adding to your ranks? Do that make any sense?
So where does the jumping thing come from?
Yeah, that's like California stuff. In Chicago, you get blessed in. Or
that's West Coast stuff.
Yeah, that's West Coast stuff. Like getting jumped in. Bro, my homies monsters, bro. Like, if you tell them that you gonna put your hands on them, they gonna shoot you on the spot. Like, they not what?
Those are shooting ones.
They gonna shoot you on the spot. Because where we come from, we only fight our loved ones. We only gonna have a fight with our brother. Because that's how if we can't reach a decision, we'll have a fist fight.
Shoot the fade,
and we shake hands later. But that's within our own ranks. If you an enemy, your ass finna die because you feel like whatever your problem is with us is this serious that we can't talk it out. We not even finna take it to fist fighting with you because if you lose this fight, now I have to worry about you again. And if I lose this fight, you know how egos are amongst men.
Absolutely.
So that ego thing can play a role. So yeah, all of that. Fake news.
But you made it out, man. You made it out. And how are you able to pivot yourself out of that environment?
I had to make a choice because, my father was in prison. Most of my uncles was in prison. I got 6 uncles doing life. So I'm pretty much responsible for all of their children. And I always made promises to my mom and my aunts and my grandma because they put a lot of work in so I would have love in my heart. And I felt like if I continued on a certain path, it would be disrespectful to them. And because they did a lot for me.
So this is a conscious man decision you're making in a moment in time. You're
for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm getting the chills thinking about it because I remember what day it was. I had got stabbed. And instead of going to the hospital, we drinking Hennessy, right?
Yeah.
Trying to be tough. but the Hennessy making me bleed more. So I'm like, man, this is just foolish. And then my brother said, so, hey, bro, we gonna do this forever? He said, what we gonna do after this? Because people getting killed. And I said, well, he had a point. And then, you know, I was good at football. So coaches would pull up to the school.
The size, man.
Yeah, I'm a giant, you know. And I used to be way bigger than this. So, you know, like, coaches would come to the school. So, like, having good grades, they was able to offer me scholarships. And the guys who followed underneath me was all football players. And I made sure the guys who followed me kept their grades up. So a lot of us were able to escape because we went off to universities, full ride scholarships. That's really how I escaped.
So you went to college?
Yeah, I went to college.
On a full ride?
Full ride.
So you were that good at football?
Yeah, I played 2 years pro.
You played 2 years pro football, bro.
Practice squad for the Cleveland Browns and the Chicago Bears. I used to live in Cleveland.
Talk about college, because on this side of the world, we really, a lot of guys really look forward to going to America for university. It's a big deal, man.
Yeah. So crazy part is, my college roommate was a Kenyan man. His name's Brian Moonye. He's here right now in Kenya. So he would always,
shout out Brian if you're watching.
Shout out Moonye, Moon Man. So he would always say, he said, Keith, man, you guys don't know what you have here. In Kenya, man, I've seen blood. And I'm looking like, okay, I would listen to him. And he would give me the whole rundown. So I was like, you know what? Being in accelerated programs, I would be the only Black American. Everybody else in there was from Africa or India. So I'm looking like, damn, we already here. They're traveling across the ocean to come here.
Yeah.
I'm not taking advantage of this. I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
So I took advantage. And it paid off for me.
You got your degree?
I got my degree, for sure. Business management.
Business management.
Yes, sir.
Well done, well done.
And I got I minored in marketing, too. So that's why I was kind of able to promote myself pretty good.
So how are you balancing? Because something I'm always curious about whenever I see like guys have a scholarship or like a full ride, but they're playing pro sports or aspiring to play pro sports. How do you balance pro sports and school? That sounds like a crazy thing.
So I'll be completely honest. Now look, in college, when you are an athlete, you get a scholarship check every month. Now, football is only half the year, but you get that scholarship check the whole year. And I was still in the streets though. So like my school was only a 2.5 hour drive from Chicago in Charleston, Illinois. So when school was done, some days I would just drive back to Chicago. And okay, hold on. What's the, I don't want to say too much. People party on campus.
Yeah.
And I would be the one providing the materials.
He was the plug.
For sure. To be able to
Statute of limitations, man. Time is over.
Yeah, I thought about it. We good. We good. Yeah. So, for sure.
So, describe a college party in America, man, because we pride ourselves on this side of the world in terms of how we party, but are we squares compared?
No. Hold on. Let me explain something right now for everybody watching. You haven't partied until you partied in Kenya. I'm just going to say this right now because my girl, bro, she's a small little lady, but she'll drink me under the table, bro. Foxy is 10%.
Oh, yes, Fox. If you Fox base. Actually, there's even, I think, a 14% version.
But they got one that's 16%. You can't even sell that type of stuff in America. The legal limit for beer in America is 8%. And then, like...
So we can hold our liquor beside.
Right. And then the legal drinking age here is 18. In America is 21. So...
And you guys stop partying like at 2 a.m.
Bro.
Us guys can go till the next 2 a.m.
My first night partying here, I don't think I went to sleep until about 10 in the morning. And the people that was with me was like, oh, you're getting tired? Oh, he's a baby. I say, wow, oh, baby? Okay.
That's crazy.
They schooling me. They bringing me, they showing me how to really party. Now, we got some good parties. Certain cities and states you can go to 5 or 6 a.m. But
I see some crazy things. The other day I saw on social media, I saw like guys actually at a party where the whole theme around it is to pour bottles.
Yes.
And I'm like, what is all that about? That's a lot of money just being poured down.
It's a lot of foolishness that you see taking place. Like in America, unfortunately, they like to do a lot of things to impress other men all day. So like guys will buy a bunch of bottles to compete with other guys just to pour it out.
Bottles.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, things I don't partake in. That's very zesty activity. No Diddy, you feel me?
No Diddy for sure.
No Diddy for sure. So yeah. But you know, like, and then like the price range is different. Like I was at Black Samurai, and you get like a bottle of Martell for like under $100 US. So that same bottle of Martell at a club in America, let me pull up my converter.
So
right
club owners getting rich off this, huh?
Bro, yes.
Club promoters, club owners.
Yes, it's a scam. Okay, let's see this.
And are guys spending their check, or what are they spending?
So for a one bottle of Martell in the club in the US, it's 103,600 shillings.
Oh my goodness.
For one bottle.
And guys are buying bottles.
They buying
My goodness.
They buying bottles, and it's like, bro. And then, you know, over there, like girls like they can't really drink that much, but if they did that here, they'd be broke. Because these ladies over here, if you pull out 3 bottles of Martell, they about to finish 3 bottles of Martell.
2 hours, man.
And then they pulling out Foxe after that, and while you fighting for your life. So, like, you know, that's a cultural difference. I think it's cool to see. For sure.
But another cultural difference when it comes to turn up is also, what about drugs, man? Because on this side, we're not really into alcohol. We'll take it like full blown.
Yeah.
But things like Molly, we hear about Molly, we hear about cocaine. How deep is that entrenched in the culture there?
Heavily entrenched. So out there, ecstasy is big. So it's MDMA. Now, what people don't know is MDMA initially was used to treat PTSD.
Yes.
And to use it for like therapy for couples going through, you know, turbulent times.
Yes.
You know, it's, you know, the opioid crisis in America is serious. So, you know, Percocets, MDMA,
Fentanyl now.
Fentanyl
is taking people out, right?
Like I've never seen.
And
before.
I was shocked. Like the quantity required to take someone out is like this.
Yeah,
it's like this.
Like your thumbnail, like your pinky nail amount.
Are they mixing it in like MD cocaine or?
Yes, which is when you see people die from a cocaine overdose in America, it's because it's mixed with fentanyl. Because fentanyl slows down your heart rate, cocaine raises your heart rate. If you mixing that 2 substances together, that's poison. And you know, when you see a group of guys get shot up someplace, and they were guys who were selling the wrong product to people, and it cost them. So, you know, a lot of that goes on as well, because we're real close to Mexico.
Tijuana.
Cartel business is real.
Yeah.
You feel me? So when it comes to party drugs out there, if you name it, they own it.
But now, but I'll come to that later. What about marijuana? Because marijuana in a lot of states is it state legal, not federally legal?
State legal, for
state
sure.
legal, yeah.
Recreational and medicinal. Yeah. Weed is like a cigarette in America, man.
Yeah. Can you smoke it in those states where it's legal? Can you smoke it like outside, like bus stop, train stop?
They do have certain ordinances about smoking. They have designated smoking areas, stuff like that. But certain states, it's still completely illegal. Like in Texas, you know.
Texas with Joe Rogan there and all. It's still illegal?
It's still illegal.
Damn.
Texas still illegal. Especially, let me think about that. Because like, I think the most you can have is like 28 grams.
So personal use.
Personal use. Anything over that is a felony.
Because is that why Wiz Khalifa came up with the song 28 grams?
For sure, man. You know, and I will.
Okay. So you finish college, right?
Yep.
And you were there to play ball initially.
Yeah.
So what happened with that?
Man, I took football as far as I could take it. Injuries is real. and CTE is real. And playing football was making me dumb.
Because of the head contact.
Yes, bro. I used to read a lot of books and stuff like that, and I couldn't read books anymore. Like, my eyes were sensitive to light. And I had several teammates of mine flip out and kill everybody. Like my homie Sergio Brown, you know, he locked up right now for allegedly killing his mom.
And is CTE admissible as a mitigator in court in terms of temporary insanity? That's why, you know, like...
Right. See, that's why I always say there's some type of conspiracy going on with Big Pharma and this, because they say they can't diagnose CTE until after your death.
Once they examine the brain, they say.
Right. That's when but it's kind of like I can tell, bro, like you can always look in the... That's why I stopped doing security for football players. Because after 30, if they played 7+ years after 30, they all got that glossy look in their eye, bro. All of them.
But guys are running how many kilometers into each other head first? Even if you have a helmet, bro. That is head trauma for sure.
It's definitely head trauma, because they used to teach us to use our helmet as a weapon. And we would get skull and crossbones stickers on our helmet for people we hurt, or if we broke somebody's helmet. So, you know, we going out trying to kill people, bro, and not knowing we damaging ourselves. So I oftentimes think to myself, how many people are walking around with CTE just from playing Pop Warner in high school?
Do you think Aaron Hernandez was...
For sure.
Aaron Hernandez, there's a documentary on Netflix for those watching.
For sure.
He actually committed quite a couple of murders, and people said the root cause for sure was CTE. A few MMA guys now.
Bro, I don't know what it is, but when you get after a certain amount of concussions, violent thoughts will dominate your brain. It happened to me, my brother, several of my teammates, and the only reason we was able to get past that was smoking weed or taking edibles.
Calm down.
Without that, I don't know where I would be. So, like, I say, you know what? I'm going to use my brain. You know, I'm tired of running around sweating, crashing into people. Like, I still got permanent injuries to this day from football. So, it's like...
So, Big Pharma definitely holding it back, because when I know there was a time 5-6 years ago, there was a big conversation around CTE. So much so that Will Smith starred in a movie that was centered around the whole CTE thing. But after that, the
disappeared.
Steam just died down.
Like magic. Yeah. It's a conspiracy, bro, because, bro, some of the thoughts I would have after having concussion scared me. I'm like, yo.
Murderous thoughts?
Yes, for sure. So whenever I see homies crashing out, killing their family, I know why. Man, Sergio was a good dude. He loved his mom. But after so many hits, the brain is not meant to take trauma. And after repeated traumatic experiences, you know, imagine getting into a car crash 5 days a week for a living.
Actually, that kind of impact is like a car crash.
It literally is, bro.
And for like months and years on end.
And yo.
So after college, how do you find yourself, or what's your journey into security, man? Personal, close quarter security.
Okay, so you know, growing up, for my dad that went to prison, he had bodyguards. He was doing some stuff with he did stuff with computers, right? And
feel free every other time with Eric, man. Every other time.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. This ain't exclusive right here. I never said this nowhere. So my dad would make like computer programs, and one of the programs that he made, he sold to some people, and I guess it made the people in the Clinton administration upset. So one day, FBI shows up to our house, because by law in America, if the FBI determines there's a threat against your life, by law they have to come tell you. They show up to the house, they break it, explain the whole thing. And especially was a threat against me, because I'm his son, and he taught me how to work computers as well. So, you know, I wanted to be like a computer whiz until this started happening. So Bro, he hired bodyguards, a group of Muslim dudes. One name was Rasul, who owned the company. And there was 2 guys who used to be with me every day, all day, Guito and Sterling Shepard. So, you know, they kind of turned me into a monster, bro. Like, they would have me watching, like, you ever heard of Faces of Death?
Mm-mm.
So basically on Faces of Death, it's just like a 2-hour-long DVD of people getting killed, tortured and stuff like that. So, you know, they would say, oh, well, he didn't crash, so let him keep watching it.
So they're trying to harden your mind.
For sure.
Bit of trauma in there as well, though.
I'm not going to say that because I'll say this. If I did not have that conditioning, I would not have been able to bring 17 missing women home last year, 4 kids and 1 little boy. I would not been able to make some of the accomplishments because in order for a man to combat evil, sometimes he's going to have to enact evil on people. And
so it strengthened your mind?
For sure. And I learned how fragile life is. And to make sure I take proper precautions, make sure I was on the ready at all times. You know, preparation, good defense is like the best offense at time, for sure. So, you know, going through that, I was enamored by them. Like these boys was dangerous, you know, and they had skills. They taught me a lot of things. So it gave me the upper hand in a lot of situations, especially having wars in the street.
Yeah.
Because, like, guys shooting like this. You know? Yeah, they shooting like this and all type of stuff. I'm like, man, that ain't going to work against us. So, you know, I never harmed anybody who didn't deserve it. I always walked in the light. You know, I made sure that my homies knew that if they was going to stand with me, we was going to put an end to certain things in our community. We wasn't going to contribute to it because then that makes us animals just like these fools. And it worked, bro. And it worked. I feel like if I wasn't somebody that people...
You seem like a heavily conscious guy. Where did that... Because it takes a lot of consciousness to be able to stand away from a group or a type of behavior or a type of culture, especially when it's negative, because human beings are designed for groupthink.
For sure.
It's a very common trait.
Yep.
So that the origin of that is, you'd say, is what? Is this, you think that's God or what's that?
Definitely God. I got it tatted on me, bro. You feel me? Yeah, I like I said, it goes down to my mom, my aunts, and them. They kept me in church. I didn't understand why. I'm like, man, why y'all got me in here?
Every Sunday?
Every Sunday, they kept me in church. You feel me? And I understood why as I got older, because without that, there's no way I'm sitting here right now at all.
So how do you find yourself? Of course, one of the most unique things I'd say you've done in life is to shed light on a whole thing that, of course, came out, but you shed light intricately on the inner workings of, I'd say, Hollywood, pop culture. Remember, America is at the center of entertainment world over. The rest of the world tries to emulate what originates in America. And you are a close quarters bodyguard for infamously or famously now Diddy, of course.
Right.
Puff Daddy. What was your origin with that? How did that even come to be?
So, check this out. Not one time have I ever said I was this dude's bodyguard. I always tell people I pivoted my business to protect ladies. Mostly they'll be models and singers, and I would end up at his parties. But on every video, P. Diddy bodyguard on every video. So I'm like, okay, people got to get their money. That's fine. But, you know, I encountered him because I was head of security at a nightclub called The Vibe on 1534 Kingsbury Street in Chicago. Owned by Joey Vartanian, and the general manager was PJ Khan. They booked Diddy to host a party.
What year is this?
This is 2013.
Okay.
They booked him to host a party. And then whenever celebrities would come into the city, me and a few other guys on the top of the list of who they call. So since I was already there, they said, look, we want you to take this group of people over to Diddy's after party. Don't let nothing happen to them. Cool.
Group of people, ladies?
Yeah, 3 ladies, 1 guy.
Okay.
And when we got there, they had Okay, so all of the waitresses was topless, serving drinks.
This is not the Diddy party.
At the party, yes.
Okay.
They topless, serving drinks. You got dancers in cages.
Pretty normal.
That's crazy.
They got lions on leashes, stuff like that. I'm like, man, it's okay, you know. And then, you know,
So it's like at a house, his house. It's like a rented place.
this is like it was at a penthouse condo. It was high up in the air, so it was like a 2-level condo. And
Guys are bringing lions to a.
bro, it's a thing. It's a thing. Like
Money disturbs people, huh?
for sure, bro. Yeah, make them go mad. They make them go crazy. Because there's no way I want to chill with a lion. Like, what do we have in common? You feel me? The lion might, man, he looked tasty. He might want to take a bite. I'm cool. You know, I don't want nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
So that was my first time encountering them. And then,
Is your spidey senses already tingling?
ooh, yes, sir. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you right here. If you ever at one of these type of parties and you see the white dudes come in with the spiky hair, you ever seen the movie Twilight?
Yes, I have.
You see them vampires,
Oh,
they look like that?
Yeah.
If you see the vampires coming in, somebody cakes is getting touched, bro, for sure. For sure.
So these are they? When you say cakes getting touched, you mean like the gay route? Or
Yes,
you mean like
yes, that route. The rainbow route.
Rainbow,
For sure,
rainbow
bro.
route.
Seen it, bro. I said, oh, it's this how this party go? And he holding hands with 2 of them in a towel. One hand, I'm like, oh.
Is he not scared that guys are? And clearly he wasn't.
They took everybody's cell phone. Bro, I'll send you a video. They take everybody's phone.
Excuse me, I need the phones, guys. I need the phones. I need the phones. I need the phones. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And Quincy, I know you have 2 phones, Quincy. Oh, there you go. That's what I love. Yeah. Just Glow. So proud of you, Just Glow. Look at that. Got all the phones. Do I have everybody's phone?
So we got 2 cars. We got this car and the car over there. How would you like to?
We can go get him.
So I'm looking like, man, so when the dude comes in, hey, we need your phone. I said, I'm not giving you my phone. He said, we're going to have to leave. I say, bet. Cool, I'm going to leave then. So the people I was with, the dude said he wanted to stay. But I said, sweetheart, you and your friend need to come on. So they came with me and the dude stayed. And I don't know what
Safe to say his cakes.
he gave them cakes. Them cakes got touched. Them cakes got touched. So I'm like,
What came out, of course, later was that because it's one thing to have nefarious acts in, and you're okay with it, and
Yep.
it's what's the word? Consensual.
consensual, yep.
But now what came out is that there's rumors around things not being consensual, people being drugged, people being taken advantage of. So is that something that was happening, or were people being drugged?
I'm gonna show you a message from a victim who reached out to me to help him. Now I can't confirm about people getting drugged, but I did see people coming out with plates, pills on the plates, cocaine on this plate, and it's readily available. Anything you want for free. I did see that. Now read this right here.
Is it something you can send me minus the information?
Yeah. I can send you that. So that's a young kid right there. Read his story.
Can I read it out loud?
Yep.
Hey, would you have happened to be from the top here?
You can read everything you want to read.
All right. So, hey, would you have happened to be at the November 24, 2022 Diddy party in LA? I'm working with Busby Law Firm, and I'm trying to submit witnesses who can help me at the location. I'm breaking off my witnesses from settlement if we win them, from them helping me come forward in these difficult times. So what's the situation? CeCe asks. So you heard about the Texas attorney, Tony Busby. I'm one of the people getting represented by him, and they're getting things together to file my case. I'm just trying to give myself the best odds possible for success. I do have other 2 witnesses, but neither of them were at the location. I'm trying to see if we can have more people who can put me at the spot. CeCe says, do you want to come on my podcast and tell your story so we can get the word out and help find others who can put you on the scene? Yes, I think that would be a great idea. I do want to make sure that it's the right time, so I'm not leaking any information before my suit is filed. The Busby firm told me that it should be filing mine either this week or next week. Then there's a video there. I can come tell my story, but it was a deep one. I was homeless at the time, living out of my van, got spotted and recruited and got invited and got diddled.
Man said he got diddled.
He got diddled, man.
Crazy work. He 20 years old. He think he finna get a job being a studio engineer. No, sir. He coming right for the cakes immediately.
Damn.
Crazy.
So
that's why people don't like me, because I have receipts for everything.
So how many victims reach out to you? Or before even how many reach out, how many victims did you get to know of at the time?
Probably about 8 that I can really confirm that's not full of shit.
And are these primarily male or female, or like half or like?
So the only females who complained to me was the ones who complained about his sons.
Dang.
The other ones is all dudes complaining about him.
So it's like a family thing. Like everyone here is trying to wild out without people's consent.
For sure. The legendary Dapper Dan, the fashion guru, said that he grew up with Diddy's parents, and what's going on with him didn't start with him. It started with his parents.
So he saw a lot of weird shit growing up himself as well.
For sure.
So which other celebrities did you see in some of these encounters? Just to name a few.
Okay, hold on. Let me see here. I mean, that dude Justin LeBoy. I don't even know. I don't know if you know him.
I know, of course, the guy who interviewed Kanye.
Oh yeah. Amber Rose. But a lot of people. But hit a thing. Part of the party is a normal socializing mixer, like you down on Woodville somewhere. Then they got other rooms you can go to. You feel me?
Motherfuckers be gay in Hollywood, you never fucking expected. They be having these big ass mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited than a motherfucker to be at the mansion party. You be looking in all the goddamn rooms, and you fuck around and look in the wrong room and shit. Is that 2 niggas kissing? Is one of them niggas Professor Obi?
There's a popular streamer who said that he walked into one of the rooms and he seen Trey Songz sitting on Diddy's lap.
I've had that.
That's real, man.
That's
We've had
crazy.
Exhibit as well talk about how they went to an after party invited by Diddy. Exhibit is a very legendary rapper, and he said that they reached the party and wait, why is it all dudes around here?
Bro, and think about that. I used to always say to myself, like, there are no women in here, man. Why is so many men in here drinking together like this? And then you will be in a section with them, and when it's time to take a photo, they box all the girls out, and it's just dudes hanging on each other. No, I'm not with that. Somebody get shot playing like that. Because my homies, if they see that, they gonna feel like, hold on, they trying to take it. What's this about? But you never want to be the straight dude at the rainbow party. Because if so, you the moron.
You're the victim, yeah.
You the idiot. Why is you in there?
So how much of this do you think is just weird, awkward, or a proclivity that's one way versus satanic?
Okay.
Because I've had...
Great question. You be on point.
Every other time with Eric, man.
That's a fantastic question. I never got asked that before. Because these parties, they call them lifestyle parties, but they just swinger parties. Swingers, everybody bang each other. Guys want to see other dudes bang their wife, stuff like that. Those are what swinger parties are. He has swinger parties. The problem is the whole ritualistic aspect of it is what really made me say, you know what? I'm not even going to let nobody bring me around none of this ever again. Because at one party I went to, not at his, but I'm at one party, and bro, when it's a party like at one of these condos, bathroom space is limited. So I'm trying to find some place to use a washroom. So I'm opening up doors. I open up one door, and it's a goat head, like on a stake, with like candles around it. You can see the blood was dripping down, and I'm looking like, what is this doing in here? And then, I had to think about it. I said, oh.
A goat head, Baphomet.
So, now look, whenever you watch these award shows, you all see them doing like this.
Yeah, Alicia Keys famously recently.
Bro, like, why are they doing that?
Stone, Hell's Kitchen, the Most High, my magnificent.
In fact, I want us to explore this a bit because I've been curious. So I've had this curiosity as soon as internet became a thing in Kenya, where we had, it's like maybe 16 years ago, 2009. I just finished high school.
Okay.
And of course, you start noticing things in music and the music industry. We're talking about All Seeing Eye.
For sure.
Put that on the screen. Baphomet. People doing side hand.
For sure.
So is above, I is below.
Because I ain't never did this before.
Why would you pose like this for a picture?
For what?
Like for a picture like this.
For what?
How do you explain? You've seen they talk about a ritual where guys get like a black eye. And at first it sounds like, nah, come on. And then you see pictures of all these famous celebrities, musicians, politicians, people with power from the higher echelons of society, all have at one moment in time, publicly have a black eye.
Wow.
Like, what's that about? I remember are you an A$AP Rocky fan? Remember a video called What's Up?
Yep.
Where they're literally on a pentagram.
Yep.
How do you explain that? Like, how do they justify that that's not satanic or they're not doing rituals? What's...
I'm going to give you some inside information. So I don't really talk about this type of stuff. But I'm going to tell you, bro, being a bodyguard for certain people, the talent will show up to a place for a video shoot. Everything is already laid out. The talent will have no idea that they're in a ritual. Sometimes they change the flooring digitally. When they showed up, they wasn't standing on the pentagram. But when the video come out, they are. I've seen that happen.
Wow.
And then you got some people, when you show up to the video set, you see a weird lady there. And they offering you help. And I seen an artist before say, listen, y'all offering me this help, but I'm not going to give up anything for y'all to help me. And they said, well, good luck to you, young man. And his album never even came out after that. He didn't accept their help, and his album never came out. And we was on a whole tour. I thought that was weird. You see places like in the UAE, it's a $50,000 fine and jail time for practicing witchcraft or using malevolent forces to gain. We seeing Iran come out and accuse Israel of using jinn to attack people in Iran. They not making this up. And I know for a fact that because in Dallas, I was in Dallas, Texas last year. This is the sickest I ever been in my life. 19 days straight, I felt like I was going to die. The doctors couldn't tell me what was wrong. Now, mind you, I already been poisoned 3 times before. So I try my best not to get sick because, I don't know if my immune system is going to handle it. A spiritual person reaches out to me and says, look, you are under attack. I go through this little ceremony. They do all of these prayers. They made me wear a copper bracelet. And in 24 hours, bro, I was back to normal. But the day before that, we had just foiled a little trafficking ring that was going on. We united some people back to their family. And right after that, I was sick, bro. Bad.
So do you armor yourself with God before you...
Absolutely. More now than ever. Like, I would just say my prayers before and just do what I do. But as I started to make more of an impact, I had to really... I had to really raise the level of my spirituality because spiritual forces are real. It's not a joke. I've seen it. And I'm a person who come from the streets. I come from where the sun don't even shine. And I done seen the darkest parts of humanity. And without my faith, it ain't no way I'm sitting in front of you right now, for sure.
And you something I want to broach because we are living in a time where right now, today, the biggest controversy that's happening in the world, of course, is the Epstein files. Sure. And the Epstein files have to do with, of course, child sex trafficking.
For sure.
And a lot of high-up people, of course, are implicated. And for anyone with eyes, you can see, okay, across both sides of any political divide, people are implicated.
Yep.
For this thing to be hidden for this long, and then now the president has switched up and said, nothing there.
Yeah.
But you've talked about foiling or helping take victims of child sex trafficking back safe. What's that about?
So basically, bro, that became a part of my business, because when I said, you know what, dudes doing too much weird stuff, like they don't want to pay, they want to do all type of crazy stuff. Like female clients, they pay, they tip. You want to go out to eat with them, it's cool. Dudes want you to stand by the door while they eating. The girls say, sit with us, eat with us. It's just a way smoother job. But you start working for, dancers, escorts, and models. You start to see the sex trafficking world and how it works. So,
talk about that specifically.
Okay, so basically it's like this. Like it's way more than just pimps and hoes. You see what I'm saying? All right. That's how I got poisoned the first time playing with these people. All right. Trafficking rings work like this. Usually the ladies that they operating with have been far removed from their actual homeland. So the only people that they actually know are the traffickers. Then they keep them on all kind of drugs. The same way Diddy did with Cassie. Cassie was always high and drunk all the time. Same thing with these people, with these ladies. Now, what ends up happening is they either get kidnapped or they get convinced by a fake boyfriend that we're going to go on this endeavor together and we're going to get rich. That's not how it works. Furthermore, the darkest parts of this is a guy who came to us, he paid his money, his daughters disappeared from his house. He worked 2 jobs. Somebody they met on TikTok convinced them he was going to pick them up, take them to the radio station to be models, and they was going to get rich. They was missing for a year straight. Problem is, traffickers, if their market is young women, if the woman starts to get to 25, 26, she's not young no more, not as sought after no more. You can look in their eyes and see when they're completely burnt out, there's nothing left. They usually murder them and then sell their organs now. So what they'll do is, if they're not getting booked as much, they detox them.
So, because now they're trying to get the value of the organs up.
Right.
That's crazy.
So I don't like talking about it because it makes me angry, but I didn't got the call saying like, yeah, they're detoxing me. I don't know what's going on. I know what's about to happen now. So that's led to a lot of shootouts though. You feel me? Because they used to, like the trafficking groups, they used to be vicious. But they start making so much money, they get lazy. You would show up to a place, it used to be real killers watching. They just got a meth head in the car asleep. Or they got some of the other girl sex workers being in security. Like, come on, man. Like, that's how much money these boys is making. They get
going
lazy.
Reckless, yeah.
Going reckless. So throughout that period of recklessness, we was doing a lot of damage to their business. So, I'm proud about that. But it's a dark world, bro, because telling a lady that she's old now because she's 25.
25 years old.
It's crazy. And then you got a guy sitting next to you. He have a plan to kill you, cut you open, and take your organs out and sell them to somebody. A kidney is like 40 grand US. A heart, you can up to 250 grand. All of that's ridiculous.
So how do people end up this desensitized to the human condition that's the norm for them?
Every one of these groups has some type of evil saint that they pray to. All of them. And that's what people don't talk about.
Talk about it.
Well, we done seen these shrines where they praying to these gods. skeletons, these rituals they do. Like one ritual they do is they take a barrel, fill it up, set it on fire, light it, and then they say these prayers to some demon, and then they take their hand, put it on the barrel, burn themselves till they start bleeding, and then they drip the blood into the barrel. That's part of the ritual. So now, and if they want to survive long, they have to collect souls, basically. You know, we run up on one guy, he got a rosary made out of human teeth. Where did he get the teeth from? Like, I couldn't believe it when I saw it, but I seen it. So it's kind of like all of these guys, and people don't talk about this, that black magic is real, and they all pray to some weird evil entity, bro. And that's a fact. And I never even said this on camera, but
there seems to be these dark forces or this kind of dark practices in terms of imagery. Why is it that they find their way to like Hollywood and entertainment? And most recently, I'll say this, I talked about this, and I'm sorry if you're a fan of the guy, but I watched what was that movie you watched, Love? Sinners, with Michael B. Jordan. Brilliant.
I don't even watch movies.
Brilliant actor, but the undertone in the theme of the movie was so dark and so satanic.
It's all the same thing. Vampires and all, that's all it was. Between you and I personally believe that Hollywood is ran by malevolent forces that gets channeled through these rituals. That's the only way to explain it. Demon possession is real.
Do you think they're casting spells on us through through like movies?
Yes, I know
through music.
Yes, for sure, bro. So, all right, nah.
No, we're safe. Don't worry, man. It's every time with Eric, man.
I'm not worried about me. You feel me?
We got Jesus, man.
Oh yeah, but sometimes, you know, even Jesus tore up the church, bro. You feel me? And we met a dude named, his name was Ball. His name was Baal.
Oh.
That's what the man's name.
Whoa.
And the man made me very uncomfortable.
If you know anything about Baal, if you're watching, put some information, but Baal usually is like, that's like this satanic entity that people worship. That's literally Satan.
Well, look, all I know is when we met the man, people ask me, have I ever met the devil? I'm not going to say I met the devil, but we met somebody. We met one of them, and he made me real uncomfortable, bro.
Was he in human form?
He was a white dude with blonde hair. He had a gray suit, and I always wear a cross. He stared at my cross and was frowning at me, and he made me so uncomfortable. I felt like I was a sheep next to an alligator. And
you think that's what protected you?
I know for a fact, bro. I know for a fact, because he made a comment. He says, "What are you doing wearing that in here?" And I'm looking at this dude like, I'm like, bro, I'm lethal with these hands and feet, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not. But with this person, I said, man, I don't know. Like,
you're like, this is a different
This
level.
is something different. And he made me real uncomfortable, bro. I never felt fear like that. It was not even fear. It was like, yo, this is a different type of predator. And I started thinking to myself, I said, man, where's my gun at? Because we checking into a hotel. We at a bar, 660 North State Street, the Dana Hotel in Chicago. And I'm thinking, where's my gun at? And he responded to me based off what I thought to myself.
Oh my goodness.
He said, you wouldn't dare pull out something like that in a place like this. And I'm looking like, I said, I thought this. And he responded to me. So I just looked at him and walked away. So my homie, he like, bro, I don't like dude right there. So I don't like him neither. Peep this. 3 days later, we end up in Vegas doing some more bodyguard work. We at the pool in Vegas at the Palms Hotel. We see dude again in the same suit at this pool party. He had a suit on at the pool party, bro, and it's like 100 degrees. And when I see him, We make eye contact from across the courtyard. He walks up and says, I see you again. This is my territory now. I'm like, man, what the? I said, man, fuck you. You feel me? Like, dude. But he just laughed and walked away. And my homie's like, bro, who is that? I say, man.
It's called Bob.
I said, that dude name is Ball, bro. That's what he said his name was. So I was like, hey, Ball. And I gave him the middle finger. And he just laughed and chuckled, did like this and walked away.
Have you ever had to hide? Have you ever felt the need to like hide? The reason I'm asking this
Only time I ever hid was when we was having shootouts with the ops and we had kids at the house. So we would block out all the windows and keep the lights off, and we would all keep all the kids on the floor at nighttime so nobody would get shot. That's the only time I ever hid.
The reason I ask this, of course, is in recent times, bro, Piers Morgan, Count Capone, millions of views in the heat of the Diddy trial.
Yeah.
And of course, we know evil always fights back.
For sure.
So both through the legal system, and I'm sure he used whatever channels he had to like try and get the story different.
Yeah.
Did you face any trouble around that?
Oh, yeah. So basically, I've been completely debanked. All of my financial apps are frozen. My bank said that I called in 3 days ago and closed my own account, and they mailing me a check. Look at this. My PayPal, I was just using my PayPal fine. They take my PayPal account. Watch, a lot of,
So you think crypto is the way?
Crypto is the only way. Cause it's definitely been attacked.
If you're watching and you don't understand what debunked is, it's a common thing that happens to anyone who spreads truth in this wicked world we live in. And at one point or another, literally, they take away your ability to have access to money you've earned.
Facts.
Through your own hard work and sweat.
Facts.
So if you look world over and you look, there's a common thread around people who spread truth around.
Yup.
They take away your ability to have money.
Yes, and I can show and show you. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to me, but I kind of expected it, but I knew it was like, all right, it's time for me to change my country because I was supposed to do Piers Morgan a lot sooner, but on my way to that first interview, a car comes and crashes into our truck. You feel me? And then they just speed off. That happened 2 days in a row. So,
but as high, and I'm not saying that because you said you're not scared of anything. I'm not saying this to scare you anything. But as high as some of these things go, when we talk about things like, we hear about Mossad and their reach, isn't it a vulnerable state to be in a place like this?
No. Because in a place like this, see this right there? That's my PayPal account now. They said we no longer are offering you PayPal services. And you can see my transactions is in killing shillings. I'm just going to...
We've decided to limit your account after a review.
What type of review? And they won't give me no explanation. So, and that's the thing, bro, in a place like this, in 45 minutes, I can be completely off grid. I can be somewhere, I can be in West Pecco, completely off grid. I'm not using no cell towers. I can be using Starlink, and I can't be found. You can't do that in America. Everything is traced. They got cameras. There's places out here where there's no cameras, period. I'm a lot safer in Kenya. And Kenyan people mind their business a lot of times. And then at the same time, if they feel like you one of them, they'll tell you, hey, be careful, evil eye, stuff like that. Where I'm from, it's not like that.
What about family, man? You have family that you're missing out on? Or?
My family know what's going on. They not no rookies to this. They know what's been going on a long time. My mama was like, son, it's about time for you to leave, ain't it? I'm like, yeah. So she coming over here too. No. I live for this though. Wherever it's dangerous at, I'm at home.
You're born for this.
For sure.
So what plans do you have in Kenya, man? What are you trying to, what does the future hold for Big Homie CeCe?
Well, I told my mom at a certain age I would settle down, try to have a family, stuff like that. I just want to have me a little farm. Give me some land, chill with my girl, get married, and just live the Kenyan life, for real. That's it for me, bro. I feel accomplished. You know, I done helped a lot of people. I'm actually going on tomorrow. We're gonna be feeding 30 Kenyan families. We passing out food. Just continuing on my path. Right now, though, I'm tracking a group of Ugandans that are from a place that's cannibalistic. I've been working on that. So I'm gonna continue serving my purpose and the path God sent me on. And, you know, no weapon can prosper, bro. And if they do come playing with me, they better be right with God. I'm gonna tell them that for sure.
So the fact that, of course, we know how the case seems to have gone.
Yeah,
there's a high chance of Diddy coming home.
I was the first person to tell everybody he was getting out. I knew it was gonna happen. You either got the complexion for the protection or you got the compensation for the protection.
So you think he paid his way?
They came out before the trial started, said that he was tampering with witnesses. He faced no charges for it. He was arrested with narcotics. He faced no charges for it.
And guns with
defaced firearms.
Defaced firearms.
No charges for it.
That was, I found that peculiar. A gun where you actually removed the serial number.
And he got caught with several of them. No charges.
So that's a brotherhood or what?
Yeah. I'll tell you what it is off camera.
I think we've covered everything, right?
Yes,
wow.
Sir.
Anything else you'd like to say?
I'll tell you what it is.
Thank you to my boy Eric for having me.
Off camera.
I was excited for this interview. I think we did our thing. You want to find me? BigHomie.CeCe on Instagram, Off the Grid Network on YouTube.
Thank you so much for coming to Every Other Time with Eric, man. I'm definitely going to ask you a few questions off camera as well.
For sure.
If you haven't subscribed till now, you guys are wilding. Every Other Time with Eric, the big homie CeCe. In
big
real time, God
CeCe.
is good. All is love.
Yes, sir.
Man, he tripped me out. He said, "I'll tell you, but I got to tell you off camera." That's amazing, man. I think that big homie CeCe speaks a lot of truth. He got to move strategically, and he had to lead the country, man. And he's saying that Diddy, man, come on, daggone government. If you that crooked, man, oh my God. Hey, this Wednesday, I am going to the Philippines. The album is dropping August the 1st. Y'all check that out. I'm going to get on up out of here. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell him Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.